Okay, today I'm going to do a little video on the replacement of the seat for the DriSteem DI type humidifiers. Whether it might be something like this here, that this is a CRUV type, which is kind of just an OEM type product that just stands alone, or it might be in a humidifier the basic overall construction and replacement is the same. The first thing that you will need to do, of course, is turn off the water supply to the unit and disconnect power. The water will come in right over here. This unit, it's a new unit that hasn't even been set up yet, so there's nothing connected here, but you'd have to disconnect your water coming into here to be able to pull this apart here. You'd have to disconnect your power and everything so you don't electrocute yourself or anything like that. And then you also want to wait for it to cool down a bit, because the unit will be quite hot unless it's been in standby for some time. The first thing to do would be to remove, there are 4 screws around the top of the unit here. So if we just take and pull these off here, that would be the first step. And also you'll want to remove whatever supply line that you have coming into here. So you remove that and be down to just this unit here, in which case you can take a pipe wrench or a good sized plier and loosen that to get that off here, and then we'll get down so that we can get a good grip on this here. This unit here can then be pulled up and set aside. You probably won't be able to pull it completely off like this here, because there will be power cords coming in and things like that. So here I can just get that pulled aside here. The next step that we want to do here it will be to take and loosen this. Now that you see this here, there will be a ball valve that's inside here. And so now we can take and remove that. So we'll just take, again, a plier or a pipe wrench or something, and be able to just take and loosen this. And once we have that pulled off, you'll see that there's a little seal on here and everything. And this is the valve unit. Now what often goes wrong with these here is inside of here there's a little rubber seat, and that rubber seat ends up going bad. I've seen it as often as maybe perhaps once a year or so that needs to be replaced. So the first thing to do is to just take and straighten out the cotter key here and pull that out. Make sure you've got good grip on everything here, so that things don't fly to pieces here. And then if you pull this cover off, you'll see the seat. Now with time, this rubber seat will flatten out, and you'll see lots of issues with that. The most common issue that you see with it is loss of capacity of the humidifier. The humidifier is not able to keep up because the cold water is coming in so quickly that it's not able to keep up to steam. The other thing that you'll see is you'll see water continually running over the overflow here. So you'll want to, if you see water coming out the overflow continually, you know you probably have a bad seat here. So you'd replace this rubber seat. This is, there again, a brand new unit, so it doesn't actually really need replacing. And then reassemble again here. Take and line this up and with the cover back again, and line up the holes here, and place the cotter key back in again, making sure you get through all of the holes. And bend that out again here, and now basically be able to reassemble again. I don't recall, this unit actually doesn't have anything that's keyed here. I believe on some of the units, that's where the key is. I feel it now here. Down underneath here, there's sort of a, if you see, this is just a hex head here. Underneath here, there's a socket that's welded in there, just a hex hole in there, so that when you put this in, it will only fit in certain places. You want to get that turned to the side there, so that as it comes up, it does not hit the heating elements. There again, replace the nut over here, tighten that down. And take your plier and tighten it back up again. Just make sure everything is good and free in there. And then you can connect this back up and connect to your water supply. Good thing to do now here is because sometimes that water, with the seat being bad, sometimes that would affect, when you put the new one in, might affect how high the float will raise here. So it would be a good thing here when you go into reassembly to connect your water supply. Let the tank fill up until it stops filling, and check your level against this inside here, against the level of the overflow here, and make sure that that is within the specification for how high the water should be inside the tank. And then after that, put the cover back on, 4 screws to tighten that down, and that's about all there is to replacing the seat on these DriSteem humidifiers.